Dropping In with Danell on localmia.com. I'm Danell Fields. I'm the host of Local Mia's Home and Lifestyle segment. Today, if you're wondering where we are, we're in the food truck of David Welch business, FireCraft BBQ. He's the owner and CEO of this wonderful company. It's a catering company, but he also has a food truck. He's pretty much everywhere. And he has a gorgeous wife named Teresa. I know you've seen her here before. And he has a daughter, Savannah, who's working here today. He's also got a son, Austin, who's 16 years old. So I'm really excited. I wanted to do this. It took a little while due to COVID or whatever that we kind of got together, and he was doing so many events. So we're very excited to be here today and show you what it's like when a family owns their own business. They work, live, love, and participate in our community. So he's cooking as we're doing the interview. So can you tell us a little bit about FireCraft BBQ and its vision and how it began?
Yes, well, we was the executive chef of a 400-seat restaurant in my past and worked for smaller restaurants, and we have taken kind of the best parts of everywhere that I've been and really slowed down with the food, if you will, because really I love slow food anyway. So barbecue really lends itself well to that. It's something that I can keep my hands around, if you will. I can do a lot by myself for a lot of people. And in this day and age, everybody is adjusting and twisting and rethinking and just trying to survive.
Can you share a little bit about your training? Because I don't think a lot of people know where all you've been trained as a chef.
Yes,
exciting.
So I started cooking. My grandmother was a chef and owned a restaurant in Sylacauga, Alabama in the 50s. My grandmother is quite an acclaimed Southern cook. My mother, in fact, is an excellent Southern cook. So all my great aunts and uncles, they were all fantastic cooks.
Weren't you trained in France?
Yeah, so I'm classically trained, if you will, right? I went to culinary school in Paris, France at the Cordon Bleu. I was there almost 4 years, 3 years and some change. It's trimesters basically. So they kicked me out of the country for overstaying my visa, my carte de séjour, basically. But I did a lot of working there. I worked at Chez Maxime's. I worked at Closerie de Lilas, which is another 100-year institution. I worked with Guy Savoy, one of his bouquinistes, and I was a teacher's pet, unabashed. I didn't care, unashamed. Ate lunch downstairs with the chefs and prepped. I prepped all day for Julia Child, and got to meet her a whole day, spent a whole day with her there, and just fantastic, things that I've been through that have
molded you to what?
It had, I guess, influenced what I'm doing now. I don't try to overthink things, but it really is a true classic French technique, if you will, right?
So we're in this food truck now, but you do other things too. So I want everybody to know you cater events. Just kind of tell a little more of what you do in your business.
So we try to do all that we can do. I've been vested in barbecue seriously for the last 7 years, going on 8 years. I've owned my company. I've been incorporated for 5, going on 6 years now. And it all kind of started as I started playing with an electric plug-in smoker I had at a restaurant I worked at as a chef, and got creative doing different things with that. It was a steakhouse, basically, new American cuisine. We did brunch. So the smoker really gave me another tool to add another layer of texture to what we were already doing that not really a lot of people were doing at the time. Fell in love with it, right? Instantly, overnight. And then that was the next step, was the biggest purchase, I'd ever made, with my wife's permission. Let me buy a barbecue pit, right? You got to let me buy an offset smoker. So I bought, a real, 3/8 inch, 3/4 inch steel Pitts by JJ offset smoker. And man, I tore it up.
Well,
right?
and so you not only do this on Thursdays here in Town Center, you also cater events, anything, big events, small events. You
That's right. It's hard to kind of nail it down, right? So we cook for Waste Management at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. We're committed to that every year. It'll be our sixth year. if they don't push it out anymore. So we'll still kind of see what's going on with that. But we feed 2,000 people in 3 days there. We feed we cook 1,000 pounds of meat, and we do it all there.
He does that.
We do the food truck, we do on-site catering. Like I have another pit on a trailer that we can bring and do, outdoorsy, campy if you want. We can bring the food truck, or we can set up a elegant buffet line. We do lots of weddings, we do all kinds of stuff.
And I know something fun that you may want to do is he will actually do like a cooking demonstration, come to your house, cook with the people watching, and then serve you the food. And it's a lot of fun. I've done that before.
Yeah, that's nice. A little interactive. Most people have big islands and like to tailor it with the wine.
So most of us in the community know how much you give back. If David is asked to do something, he does it, and it's on his dime. Maybe some of you that are watching the show don't know this about him, but will you want to just tell us what your heart and vision is for that? Because you help so many people, and you do it tirelessly, and you do it with love.
Well, right now, frankly, we don't have a lot of money to give, but we have time.
But you have.
We have effort. But working with Tony Raffa pretty much instilled that community sense in me.
Right.
Don't want to get choked up, but yeah, you got to give back.
Well, and that's why we have to give back, and come and use David and all, because when some person has done so much with the community over the years and never said no, then now's the time we have to step up and use them too. One of the most memorable catering events you've done, like maybe most special, or like a wedding or something that you remember doing?
We won that trophy right there. That was
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We won a People's Choice Award at the Houston Barbecue Throwdown in 2019. Recognized for that. That was
a big deal.
That's the best cookers in the city. Those are the best people doing it, and they're professionals. They're not weekend warriors.
Or when you're home and you and Teresa have a day off, which is very rare.
It's rare.
What do you like to kick back, and do you go to Taco Bell, fried chicken, or do you actually cook something?
Whenever I can, I take my wife to State of Grace restaurant. The chef there is really good, and I mean there's a few chefs there, right? But great little restaurant.
So what do we see? We're kind of wrapping up this part. We watch a little bit of your banana sauce. What do we see with David Welch in the future? What's your passion? What do you see yourself?
Well, we obviously don't want to have a food truck forever, so we own a piece of property in the front of Kingwood, and we are trying to put a building on it. And with I could list 100 challenges, like it, but we're no different than anybody else. We're just going through the motions to try to put the big project together, and we've had some wins and we've had some serious setbacks too. So, we're just going to keep our head down and keep going for our goal. Fighting for the goal.
Good. Well, so I usually end with this, but we're going to do a little cooking. But so what's I always ask people, what's something about David Welch that no one knows that would really surprise people? What's something that we don't know? Because we know a lot about you.
I like cats. Yeah, I'm a cat person. I have a couple cats.
A cat person.
Yeah, maybe not everybody knows that I'm God-fearing, and that I just want to, be accountable in the community and do a good job.
So what are we looking at?
I'm going to show you the briskets that we do. We just cook prime black Angus beef, or no less than, like a HEB brand Prime 1 brisket. We wrap in butcher paper like this, but you can kind of see the jiggle. You see it jiggling?
You want it to jiggle?
Oh yeah. It's not done until it jiggles.
Oh.
So you get a little jiggly action.
What does the jiggle action mean?
Feel it. Touch it. That brisket's cooked. That's perfectly cooked. You see
wow,
that?
Yeah.
Moving around. And like this is the flat portion here. This muscle is
So
where
I do
you
want
get
to
the
ask,
flat.
how do you know which direction? I'm always not knowing which way to
Well, it
slice.
depends. This, if you're left or right-handed may make a difference, but you see this is the top of the brisket, and it's actually sliding
Right.
as a muscle on top of this flat muscle here that I just showed you, right? So we catch it right about here. I do anyway. Lots of guys cook, cut brisket all kind of ways, but I just do what works for me and what works on the truck, and we'll slice our brisket in half. Now a lot of guys you'll see when they cut the brisket in half, they'll smush it, and try to run all the grease out. But we don't do that. You can just look at it. I'm not going to squeeze it, but you can see.
We
You can
want
see the
it all
moisture
squishy.
across the top there.
Angle it down a little bit.
You see it's got moisture, across it.
Right. Oh,
It's
wonderful.
nice. You see, it's not overdone. You can see this side.
May I cut a slice?
I'm going to cut you one right
Okay.
here. Can you get a good film right here? What we do when I look at it, let's see if it's nice or not. We'll pop that off right there.
Oh, wow.
Look at that.
Oh,
That's how we do it. That's the look and cut here. Now this is what you want to try. Okay, you see that? This is what I'm looking at. Okay,
my daddy used to like the fatty pieces.
that's it
You know?
right there. Try that right
Okay.
there.
Okay.
Little barky
this is
piece.
live to me.
Huh?
It's like it melts in your mouth. Oh my
It's good
goodness. Fantastic.
It's not as much as me as it is the beef. Okay,
Oh.
I'm telling you. It's not as much as me as it is the beef. It's quality beef.
Wow. Wonderful. Thank you, David, for letting us come.
You're very welcome.
And
It's
Savannah.
my pleasure.
And we appreciate him so much. He's here every Thursday, starting at 4 o'clock until he runs out. And generally, he runs out of food. So it's wonderful. And thank you for the love
You're welcome.
you give to all
Thank
of
you.
us.
No, it's our
you
pleasure.
are
We're honored to be here.
you're a
Believe it.
fantastic person,
Well, I appreciate it.
and inside and out, and it shows. So we appreciate you. And Danell Fields signing off, dropping in with Danell.
It's
More
Savannah.
more
We'll be
next
in
month.